excited to be here. And I'm excited for all of you because this could be your pivotal event. It could change the trajectory of your life. I'm a perfect example of that. It was less than 6 years ago that I was broke. I was behind on my bills and my dreams. Like some of you here, I was discouraged in almost every area of my life until I realized what the problem was. And sometimes the most amazing life lessons can be learned from the simplest things, right? Things like nature and kids. I'll give you an example. I was visiting my daughter's kindergarten class on Parent Day, and they were singing Hokey Pokey. You remember that song? And it was during that song that I realized why I had never been successful at anything significant in my life. Listen, they said, you put your left leg in, you take your left leg out. You put your left leg in, and you shake it all about, right? You try something new. You're half in, half out. And when things don't work out, you shake it off and you go try something else. And it hit me when we got to the end of the song. They said to put your whole self in. You put your whole self in and you turn your life around. That's what it's all about. And I came to my first conference and I remember thinking to myself, what are you doing? You half commit to everything important. You've never really seen what you're made of. Never spent the time and the energy getting good at something worth getting good at. For once in your life, commit to this opportunity and turn your life around. Now, there's some things 6 years ago that I needed to hear. And for the next few minutes, I'm going to have a conversation with myself 6 years ago at my first conference. Now, I don't know where he's sitting, but he's here somewhere. He's lost his business. People stopped believing in him, and he's terrified. And I welcome you to listen in on this conversation with myself. In fact, there may be a few people here that need to hear the same message. Are you with me? But I don't promise to not step on toes. Is it okay with you that I be courageous enough to tell it like it is? Brad, you're frustrated with the results of someone who puts in 70%. Not only are you behind on most things in your life, but you're getting older, and you'll never get to see what you could be because the cost of getting to see it is a commitment that you've never been willing to pay. You're trying to get someone to fall in love with the you that you've never discovered yourself. 50, 60, 70%, you've never seen what you could be if you threw your whole self at your dream. Brad, do you think that greatness goes on sale? True quality never goes on sale. You don't believe me? Go to a Rolls-Royce dealership and ask them for 20% off. See if they'll negotiate. The only thing that goes on sale is cheap stuff. High quality costs what it costs. They don't make it for average people to buy. Greatness costs what it costs. Brad, you've never fully invested in anything or anybody. You might be in symmetry, but symmetry is not yet in you. And you're running out of time. Because you're not fully committed, you're running out of time, running out of excuses, and running out of people to blame. I wonder what would have happened in school. I wonder what would have happened in my marriage. I wonder what would have happened in my business if you had really thrown your whole self in. Brad, you've been casual. And sometimes the most casual people are the most talented people. Because talented people will lay on their talent. They'll use their talent as a camouflage to cover up their lack of commitment. And because you've been talented enough to float by, you'll trick people into thinking that you're committed. You're not committed, you're just talented. Hit home for some people? You'd be shocked how many talented leaders are in this room who could really change lives, but they're unwilling to do the work when no one's looking. And so they sit there on their talent. Our best leaders are not up here. Our most committed leaders are up here. There are people in this room who could lead an army to victory, but they're half committed. Brad, you've been chasing success your whole life. You know exactly where you want to go. You have a vision of what you want your life to look like. And you think that talent is enough. You think that if you just invest the time and the effort for long enough, eventually I'll get there. But there's one thing that you've neglected to invest. Your heart. Is your heart committed? If you have a big vision for your life, let me tell you why it's necessary that you invest your heart into your dream. I'll illustrate it to you this way. Look at the giraffe. From his hoof to his head, he's anywhere from 16 to 20 feet tall. His neck is 9 feet long. He's absolutely huge. And he sees things from a different perspective, from a higher level. But he wasn't born with a long neck. He was born small with a short neck. And he grew a little at a time. It didn't happen all at once. Brad, I know you want it to happen right away. In your mind, you were going to be an overnight success, but it takes time. And as his long neck grows, his neck gives him an elevated vision of the world around him. But to me, you know what the most awesome thing about this animal is? Did you know that the giraffe has a 25-pound heart? Imagine the size of a bag of concrete. It has to be that big in order to pump the blood up his 9-foot neck. Listen, it's the capacity of his heart that gives him the ability to hold his head high. It's his giant heart that supports his giant vision. Write this down. Your heart gives life to your vision. See, I could give a man with a small heart an organization of people, and he will lose people to the capacity of his heart. If he can barely care for the people close to him, he won't have the capacity to care for people on a higher level. You have to invest your heart into your people, into your business, and into your dream. I read a really interesting article the other day by Mark Crowley. He's a consultant for workplace engagement. And he talks about research done by a Stanford University Medical School professor, Dr. James Doty. Now, here's a world-class brain surgeon who says that most people have no idea that the heart has anything to do with influencing human choices, decisions, and motivations. We've always believed that the heart's only role was just to circulate blood throughout the body, and it had no involvement in cognitive processes. But what science now knows is that the heart and mind work together in a unified intelligence. They share constant communication back and forth, with the heart sending more signals to the brain than the other way around. Dr. Doty says this bidirectional highway has a huge impact on how we function, how we respond, and even see the world. He says all leaders must know that the heart can have more influence on your success than your brain. Brad, is your heart committed? Have you invested all of yourself? No more half committed. Write this down. I deserve better. You deserve to see what your life would look like if you gave all of yourself. You deserve to be out of debt. You deserve to be stress-free. You deserve for people to start believing in you again. And you deserve to look back on your life and be proud of the person that you became and the people that you served in spite of your obstacles. Brad, I'm going to challenge you to make some changes starting now. Stop settling. Stop accepting the life that was given to you. Stop giving 70. Stop giving 80. There's 3 things I want you to do to give 100%. Write these down. Number 1, have a vision. Have a vision of what you want your life to look like. And be specific. What old habits do you want to get rid of? What new habits do you want for your life? What do you want to be different? And write it down. The Bible says write the vision and make it plain. So number 1, cast the vision. Number 2, do it right or don't do it at all. Brad, it's time you stop half doing stuff. Successful people don't do things halfway, and now we don't do things halfway. So number 2, do it right or don't do it at all. And number 3, no excuses, only adjustments. Brad, I know what you're thinking. I'm so far in debt. I've never done this before, and I failed so much in my life. I know. Me too. And I'm up here. So number 3, no excuses, only adjustments. Brad, listen to me. Mark my words. If you can stay focused and follow my advice, your life will turn around. You'll pay off all your debt, have a great income, a nice house, new cars, and you'll travel the world. And one day, you're going to share your story from stage with thousands of people. And you're going to inspire others to change. People like Jeremy Whitaker, who will come into this business lost and become number one in the company. People like Renee Reed, a single mom with 5 kids, used to making $36,000 a year, and she's going to make over $200,000 in her first year in this business. And there'll be a guy named Marlon Faulkner. He's going to come into this business homeless and become one of the most loved leaders in Symmetry. And you know what? Your wife will believe in you again. And she's going to tell you thank you. Thank you for not quitting. And thank you for going all in on your dream. This is the place. This is the opportunity. These are the right people. And the time is right now, for once in your life, to go all in. The water's warm. It's time you jump in, heart first.